Melania Trump ends The View with massive 75M defamation lawsuit shocker. Hello everyone, welcome to USA News Broadcast Channel. Melania Trump has always been a figure of fascination, often balancing public curiosity with a desire for privacy. As a former First Lady, she frequently found herself in the spotlight, with discussions revolving around her personal life, fashion, and decisions. Her legal battles, including notable defamation cases, highlight the challenges public figures face in defending their reputations while navigating intense media scrutiny. These cases also raise important questions about media accountability, free speech, and the rights of individuals constantly in the public eye. Many admired Melania Trump for her elegance and style, but others were more critical, sparking debates about her choices and public image. One defining aspect of her approach has been her readiness to pursue legal action against statements she considers defamatory. To understand her dynamic with the media, it's important to acknowledge her unique position. As the spouse of a highly controversial political figure, she has often been under intense public and media scrutiny. Unlike many public figures, however, Melania typically stays reserved, choosing not to engage publicly with criticism. There were moments when Melania Trump broke her silence, not through words but through decisive legal action to defend her reputation. One significant instance was her 2017 defamation lawsuit against the Daily Mail. The British newspaper falsely claimed that Melania had worked as a high-end escort before marrying Donald Trump. These baseless allegations, drawn from unreliable sources, were damaging to her carefully built public image. For Melania, the claims were more than just a personal attack. They were also a professional issue. Her legal team argued that the false accusations harmed her opportunities to capitalize on her public role, particularly through branding and licensing ventures. Melania Trump's approach to handling such situations became clear through her legal actions. She filed lawsuits in both the US and the UK, demanding retractions, apologies, and financial compensation. Her strategy aimed to prove the claims were false and had caused significant harm, warranting damages. This approach proved effective when the Daily Mail chose to settle. The newspaper issued a public apology and paid approximately $2.9 million in damages. This wasn't an isolated incident. Around the same time, Melania also pursued a civil case against Maryland blogger Webster Tarpley, who had repeated the same escort allegations on his blog. While Tarpley wasn't as prominent as the Daily Mail, Melania's decision to take legal action against him demonstrated her firm stance on protecting her image, regardless of who the source was. Tarpley ultimately settled, issuing an apology and agreeing to pay an undisclosed amount. These cases highlighted Melania's approach to dealing with false claims and her determination to defend her reputation, even when confronting lesser-known individuals. Her legal approach sparked mixed reactions. Supporters praised her for standing up to irresponsible media, viewing her actions as a rare example of a public figure actively protecting their reputation. On the other hand, critics argued that she was restricting free speech, warning that such cases could make journalists hesitant to report freely. This debate touches on a larger issue in society: the balance between free speech and protecting one's image. The media plays a vital role in holding public figures accountable and ensuring the public is informed. However, unchecked rumors and false accusations, especially when spread by powerful platforms, can cause significant harm. Melania's legal actions highlight the challenges of dealing with misinformation, especially in an era where false claims spread rapidly through social media and news outlets. While her high-profile cases against the Daily Mail and Webster Tarpley are well known, they aren't the only times she's fought back against falsehoods about her. During her time in the White House, Melania faced criticism but generally chose to remain silent. Her cautious approach, particularly in legal matters, sets her apart from many other public figures. Much of the attention she receives is often tied to her relationship with Donald Trump. As the wife of a controversial president, Melania Trump often faces speculation about her marriage. Commentators frequently analyze her public appearances and appearance through the lens of her relationship. While some of these discussions are based on observations, others make unfounded claims. These include accusations about her feelings toward her husband and rumors regarding her living situation. Melania has largely remained silent about these stories, choosing not to address speculations or gossip. However, her silence hasn't stopped her from taking legal action when she feels something unjust has been said. Melania files defamation lawsuits when the claims made against her are not only false, but also damaging to her personal or professional life. This approach highlights her understanding of the legal and reputational risks involved. Defamation, particularly for public figures like Melania, is a complex legal matter. In the U.S., public figures must prove that false statements were made, with actual malice, in order to win a defamation case. This means showing that the statements were made intentionally or with complete disregard for the truth. This standard is designed to protect free speech while allowing individuals to defend their reputations. Melania's legal team has been strategic in selecting cases where there is clear evidence of falsehoods and harm. Her approach to defamation cases shows that she is not trying to silence criticism or avoid responsibility, but instead aims to draw a line between genuine debate and harmful lies. This distinction is crucial, especially in today's media landscape, where it's often difficult to separate facts, opinions, and speculation. These legal battles are significant not just for Melania, but for broader reasons as well. They highlight the power and responsibility of media platforms and the importance of ethical standards in reporting and sharing opinions. Public figures must have the ability to challenge false claims to protect themselves from the harm misinformation can cause. These legal cases highlight the need for the media to express strong opinions while maintaining accuracy and fairness. When we examine Melania's experiences and her response to media attention, it's clear that her actions go beyond merely defending her image. She is actively taking control of her own narrative and pushing back against the stories others have tried to create about her. Her determination, paired with her legal expertise, has made her a powerful advocate in the ongoing conversation about media responsibility and the rights of public figures. Melania Trump's lawsuits against false claims stand as a unique yet increasingly common example of how public figures engage with the media. To understand her approach better, it's useful to look at defamation laws and how her cases have shaped public opinion. Unlike many public figures who ignore media criticism, Melania chooses to respond when she believes false claims could harm her reputation. A key example of this is her 2017 lawsuit against the Daily Mail. This case started with a shocking claim from a British newspaper, which accused Melania of being a high-end escort before marrying Donald Trump. While part of a larger story, the accusation lacked strong evidence and relied on unreliable sources. For Melania, as a former First Lady known for her grace and privacy, these accusations posed a serious threat to her reputation and future job opportunities. The Daily Mail case stood out because Melania's lawyers pointed out the damage caused by the false claims. They argued that the misleading statements hurt her ability to manage her business affairs. The legal filing explained that the negative article affected her business and ability to earn money from things like licensing and endorsements. This made the case more complex by showing how harmful statements can cause real financial problems, not just personal damage. Melania won the case. The Daily Mail publicly apologized and agreed to pay around $2.9 million in damages. This showed how serious the consequences can be when unverified or uncertain claims are made about well-known people. It emphasized the need for the media to be accurate and responsible, especially when covering public figures who influence society and their professions. At the same time, Melania took legal action against Webster Tarpley, a blogger from Maryland who had repeated similar escort rumors on his blog. Although Tarpley had a much smaller platform than the Daily Mail, Melania's decision to sue him proved she was determined to fight false claims no matter where they came from. Tarpley settled the case outside of court by offering a written apology and agreeing to pay an undisclosed amount. Though the settlement was likely smaller than the one with the Daily Mail, it was still a significant win for Melania in protecting her reputation against false accusations. Defamation cases are especially challenging for well-known individuals like Melania. In the United States, public figures face stricter requirements to prove defamation compared to private individuals. This difference stems from a key Supremes Court decision in 1964, New York Times, Cumber v. Sullivan, which introduced the actual malice standard. Public figures must show that false statements were made either knowingly or with reckless disregard for the truth. This high bar aims to protect reputations while ensuring open public discussions and free speech. For Melania, meeting this standard has required careful planning and strong evidence to support her case. In both the Daily Mail and Tarpley cases, her legal team focused on proving the claims were false and highlighting the harm they caused. By securing public apologies and financial settlements, they reinforced her position and undermined the credibility of the accusations. These outcomes serve as a guide for other public figures dealing with similar challenges, especially when false statements cause clear harm to their reputation. These victories go beyond protecting Melania's personal image. They have sparked conversations about the responsibilities of media companies and the limits of free speech in today's online world. With information spreading rapidly across traditional and digital platforms, the risk of false or misleading stories gaining momentum is higher than ever. This highlights the need for media companies to verify their information carefully, while public figures must stand up against harmful fake stories. Melania's legal actions point to a growing issue in today's media, distinguishing between fair criticism and damaging gossip. As a high-profile figure, she has been scrutinized for everything from her fashion choices to her relationship with Donald Trump. While much of the commentary falls under free speech protections, her cases demonstrate that there are limits to what public figures should have to tolerate. She firmly believes that spreading false and harmful claims crosses a line, and such actions deserve a firm and decisive response. Critics argue that Melania's cases could discourage free expression, particularly for smaller media outlets or independent writers. They worry that the fear of lawsuits, even for claims that don't meet the legal definition of slander, might make people hesitant to report critically or share opinions about influential figures. Supporters, on the other hand, believe her actions are necessary to address the unchecked nature of modern media. They stress the importance of holding media organizations accountable for spreading false information to maintain trust and honesty in public conversations. A key issue in this debate is how personal opinions can influence media coverage. Much of the commentary about Melania, especially regarding her marriage or emotions, often relies on speculation rather than facts. For instance, discussions on shows like The View often analyze her public appearances and body language to speculate about her relationship with Donald Trump. These conversations are based on observations, but they blur the line between opinion and fact, raising questions about how they shape public perceptions. This complexity underscores the importance of understanding the context and intent behind media commentary. While opinion and satire are protected forms of speech, they can still cause real harm if they create misleading impressions about someone's character or actions. For Melania, pursuing legal action against such stories is not just about correcting falsehoods. It's also about taking control of her narrative in a media landscape that often prioritizes sensationalism over accuracy. Melania's approach to handling defamation cases reflects a broader shift in how public figures deal with the media. Instead of simply accepting narratives about them, many are now taking a stand against false or misleading claims, often through legal action. This trend highlights a growing awareness of the power media platforms hold and the need to establish boundaries. These boundaries are crucial for protecting individuals' reputations while still preserving free speech. For Melania, these limits are especially significant in maintaining her image and identity. Melania keeps a low profile, setting herself apart in a celebrity culture that often equates visibility with success. Her reserved nature has drawn even more attention to her, shaping how she responds to public scrutiny and adjusting to life. After the White House, through legal action, she has not only protected her image, but also sparked meaningful discussions about accountability, ethics, and the media's role in shaping public perception. Melania Trump has approached defamation cases with careful planning to safeguard her reputation, especially when she believes stories about her are false or damaging. Her willingness to take legal action shows she is unafraid to challenge media outlets, bloggers, and others who cross the line from criticism to defamation. These efforts provide insight into how public figures navigate the balance between free speech and protecting their personal image in a world where media attention never rests. One of the biggest challenges Melania has faced is the constant focus on her marriage to Donald Trump. As the wife of a polarizing figure, her relationship is often the subject of public speculation. Many commentators offer opinions about her emotions, ambitions, and role within the Trump family. While much of this is framed as opinion, some claims have crossed the line, suggesting unhappiness or separation without any credible evidence. These stories have influenced how people perceive Melania, often conflicting with the image she aims to portray. Her challenge lies in the strict requirements of defamation law in the U.S., where public figures like Melania must prove actual malice to win a defamation case. This means public figures must prove that false statements were made either intentionally or with reckless disregard for the truth. This standard comes from the landmark 1964 Supreme Court case New York Times v. Sullivan. The decision aimed to protect free speech and encourage open public debate while still providing individuals a way to defend their reputations. For Melania, this rule has shaped her legal strategy, focusing on cases where clear evidence of falsehood and harm exists. Her 2017 defamation lawsuit against the Daily Mail is a strong example of how she has worked within this legal framework. The tabloid's false claims about her past damaged Melania's reputation and had the potential to harm her financial opportunities. Her legal team highlighted how these false allegations impacted her career prospects, demonstrating their tangible effects. The resolution of the case, which included a public apology and a multi-million-dollar settlement, emphasized the need for accuracy and accountability in media reporting. While the Daily Mail case was notable for its scale and impact, Melania has also pursued legal action against smaller outlets, such as her lawsuit against Maryland blogger Webster Tarpley. By targeting Tarpley, she made it clear that she would not overlook any source spreading false claims, regardless of its size or prominence. This case was resolved with an apology and an undisclosed financial settlement, showcasing her commitment to addressing misinformation. These examples highlight Melania's distinctive approach to defending her image. Melania doesn't react to every negative or questionable comment about her. She seems to draw a clear line when it comes to false statements that could damage her reputation or career. This measured approach reflects her understanding of the legal and reputational risks involved in defamation cases. It also shows her awareness of the high bar set by the actual malice standard. Melania's legal actions send a strong message to media outlets, highlighting the potential risks of publishing unproven statements, particularly when they target high-profile individuals. The settlements in her cases against the Daily Mail and Tarpley highlight the financial and reputational risks of not adhering to responsible reporting standards. These cases also raise important questions about how to hold the media accountable while still safeguarding the freedom of speech, a cornerstone of democracy. The tension between these two principles is especially evident when discussing Melania's public image. As a former First Lady, she occupies a unique position that blends politics, culture, and fame. This mixed role attracts intense public interest, but it also blurs the lines between fair criticism and harmful rumors. Media outlets must carefully consider their purpose, the accuracy of their information, and the context when making statements about her. An example of this tension can be seen in discussions about Melania's role in the White House, particularly her initiatives and public appearances. Critics often compare her more reserved approach to the more active roles of previous First Ladies like Michelle Obama and Hillary Clinton. While these comparisons aren't necessarily harmful, they sometimes include unverified claims about Melania's personal feelings or motivations. Although these stories may be engaging for audiences, they can also reinforce stereotypes or misunderstandings that shape the public's perception of her for years to come. The way the media covers Melania reflects a broader trend in how public figures are portrayed today, particularly on social media. Online platforms have made it easier for opinions to spread, which increases the risk of false or misleading narratives gaining traction. For high-profile figures like Melania, this situation presents both challenges and opportunities. On one hand, it increases the risk of harm from false statements. On the other, it offers a way for individuals to directly respond to false claims and share their own stories. Melania's legal actions against false claims are part of her effort to control her public image. By taking these misleading stories to court, she's not only addressing individual instances of harm, but also setting an example for how other public figures can confront media criticism. This approach is particularly important today as the line between news, opinions, and entertainment continues to blur. Media outlets can learn more than just defamation law from Melania's legal battles. Her cases highlight the importance of ethical reporting, which involves verifying sources, providing context, and avoiding sensationalism. These principles are crucial not only to minimize legal risks, but also to preserve the trust and credibility of audiences in an ever-changing media environment. Melania's actions have sparked important conversations about how public figures control their narratives. She's willing to take legal action, even at a high cost to both her finances and her public image, demonstrating her strong commitment to reshaping how the media covers stories. This stance has made her a polarizing figure. Supporters admire her for taking a stand against careless media, while critics argue that she is limiting free speech. This ongoing debate probably won't be resolved anytime soon, but it shows just how complex the issue is. For Melania, her legal battles aren't just about clearing her name from false claims. They're about defending her dignity and integrity in a media world that often prioritizes sensationalism over the truth. These cases also serve as a reminder to the media about their responsibility, especially when trust in journalism is so low. Watching how Melania handles defamation cases shows that her actions have a broader impact than just her personal reputation. Melania Trump's defamation cases reveal important lessons about how public figures handle the media. They stress the achy need for responsibility, fairness, and respect when sharing stories. By challenging false claims and holding others accountable, Melania has not only protected her own reputation, but also sparked a broader conversation about how the media shapes public opinion. Her legal actions go beyond personal defense, highlighting key issues around free speech, media ethics, and the responsibilities of reporters. Her cases demonstrate the impact of publishing false information and raise important questions about how public figures communicate their stories. They also bring attention to what responsibilities the media have when covering their lives. These actions have not only influenced her public image, but have also led to important discussions on media, practices, and ethics. Melania always works hard to shape how others view her, especially when it comes to dealing with false accusations. She prefers staying out of the public eye, but when she does speak or make an appearance, it's always with purpose, showing what she stands for and what is important to her. This approach is different from how the media often portrays her, focusing on gossip and speculation about her private life. This contrast has made her one of the most mysterious and closely watched people today. Her legal actions against the Daily Mail and Webster Tarpley highlight the kind of stories she is determined to challenge. These cases weren't just about minor complaints or jokes. They faced false accusations that directly harmed her reputation and career ambitions. Melania's legal team insisted these cases were essential to address damaging and reckless reporting. This stance was especially clear in the Daily Mail case, where her lawyers argued that the escort allegations hurt her ability to profit from her personal brand. This argument introduced a financial angle to reputational damage, demonstrating that false claims can have far-reaching consequences beyond emotional distress. By securing a public apology and a substantial financial settlement, the case showed the effectiveness of this approach and emphasized the need to hold media outlets accountable. These cases influence how the press reports on high-profile individuals. Platforms like the Daily Mail often rely on attention-grabbing headlines to draw readers. Melania's case revealed the risks of prioritizing clicks over accuracy. The financial and reputational fallout from the case likely influenced how the outlet handled similar stories in the future. It highlighted the importance of fact-checking and truthful reporting. This shift is critical in digital media, where speed often takes precedence over accuracy. The rise of social media has worsened these issues, making it easier for false information to spread rapidly. For public figures like Melania, false claims pose serious risks, but they also create opportunities to push back against misinformation. Platforms like Twitter and Instagram allow them to connect directly with their audience, bypassing traditional media channels. However, major media outlets still hold greater influence and reach. This imbalance is especially visible on talk shows or popular opinion programs, where casual conversations often lead to speculation or controversial topics. Melania finds these programs frustrating, as they frequently critique her public appearances and statements. While much of this falls under free speech, it highlights the fine line between expressing an opinion and making potentially harmful claims. A major topic of discussion in media coverage of Melania is the constant speculation about her marriage to Donald Trump. Many point to public moments where their interactions or body language seemed strained as evidence to fuel rumors about their relationship. While often labeled as simple observations, these interpretations can paint an inaccurate picture of her personal life. For Melania, challenging these narratives in court is about more than correcting false claims. It's also about controlling how her story is told. The tension between free speech and accountability remains a central issue in these debates. Media organizations see it as their duty to criticize public figures and promote open discussions about their actions and decisions. The reasoning is that influential and visible individuals should face greater scrutiny. However, it's important to approach these discussions thoughtfully, respecting people's humanity and avoiding the spread of harmful falsehoods. Melania's cases underscore the need for a fair balance, especially when public figures face significant risks. In U.S. defamation law, the term actual malice plays a crucial role in this balance. It requires plaintiffs to prove that false statements were made knowingly or with reckless disregard for the truth. This standard protects open public debate while also providing a way to address genuine harm. For Melania, meeting the legal standard means providing solid proof that the statements were both false and harmful. Her legal victories demonstrate her team's ability to successfully establish these points, especially when the false claims damaged her personal and professional reputation. These cases have also influenced conversations about media practices and ethics. Journalists and critics must verify facts before publishing information, particularly when it involves high-profile individuals. This principle is especially crucial in today's digital age, where the rush to publish can lead to errors. Public figures like Melania use legal action to show that the courts can be a powerful tool for combating false narratives, even in a media landscape that often prioritizes sensational stories. Melania's approach has sparked some debate. Critics argue that her lawsuits might discourage free speech, especially for smaller media outlets or independent voices that can't afford to handle costly legal battles. This raises a broader issue. In defamation law, finding the right balance between protecting personal reputations and allowing open, democratic discussions. While Melania's claims focus on addressing false and harmful statements, they also highlight how defamation lawsuits can unintentionally limit honest criticism or commentary. Her actions have reshaped the way public figures interact with the media. By standing firmly against false accusations, she has demonstrated that public figures can challenge lies while maintaining their dignity and credibility. This approach has sparked a larger discussion about the media's role in reporting on public figures, emphasizing the need for fairness, accuracy, and accountability. For Melania, these cases are vital because they give her a chance to shape her own narrative in a world where public figures often have little control over how they are perceived. Her legal actions reflect her determination to fight not only specific false claims, but also the broader culture of speculation and exaggeration prevalent in modern media. By standing up for her rights and holding media organizations accountable, she has shown how public figures can navigate the challenges of living in the public eye. As debates about defamation, free speech, and media ethics continue to evolve, Melania's cases remain significant examples. They highlight both the difficulties and opportunities in addressing these issues in today's rapidly changing media landscape, offering valuable lessons for public figures, journalists, and audiences alike. Melania has worked to protect her image while helping people understand the responsibilities and boundaries that shape public conversations. She uses defamation cases as a thoughtful way to manage the challenges of being in the public eye, while striving to take control of her narrative. Though these actions are deeply personal, their impact extends far beyond her own experiences. They highlight the shifting dynamics of media, the laws governing free speech and reputation, and the broader societal factors that shape how we view public figures. Examining these issues sheds light on why many people resonate with her efforts. As a former First Lady, Melania holds a unique place in the public's mind. Her quiet, private nature stands in stark contrast to the controversy and spotlight often surrounding her husband, Donald Trump. This situation has fueled widespread media gossip, with stories about her personal life often filling the gap left by her limited public statements. While much of this coverage is opinion-based or critical, some have included unverified claims and harmful accusations. In response, Melania has chosen to defend her image by filing defamation lawsuits to address what she views as reckless behavior by the media. A key outcome of her legal actions is the precedent they set for how public figures can respond to false statements. Her cases against the Daily Mail and Webster Tarpley underscore the importance of presenting clear evidence of harm and falsehood when pursuing legal action. These lawsuits were not about silencing critics or avoiding accountability. They were about correcting misinformation and protecting her reputation. The goal was to correct false and harmful claims. Melania received public apologies and financial settlements from the media, which not only strengthened her case, but also sent a message to other media outlets, discouraging them from similar actions. The financial aspect of these cases is particularly significant. In the Daily Mail case, her lawyers argued that the harm caused by the escort allegations damaged her personal reputation and career. They pointed out that the false claims negatively impacted her ability to earn income through her public position, such as licensing and endorsement deals. This argument introduced a new dimension to the concept of social harm, emphasizing the real financial consequences of false statements. The settlement of approximately $2.9 million highlighted the seriousness of these claims and underscored the risks media companies face when they fail to adhere to ethical reporting standards. While Melania's legal victories have pleased her supporters, they've also sparked important discussions about finding a balance between free speech and being accountable for what we say. Critics argue that defamation lawsuits, especially against smaller websites or individual commenters, could discourage people from speaking up or sharing their opinions. This concern highlights a larger challenge in defamation law, which seeks to promote open dialogue while also providing a way to address genuine harm. Public figures like Melania must navigate this carefully, focusing on cases where there is clear evidence of damage and falsehood. The impact of Melania's claims extends beyond her own situation, influencing broader discussions about defamation and media accountability.